Hi everybody, Bob with Knives Town here. Today we're going to take a look at a knife from Tops. This knife is the Tops Punisher model. It is so named because it appeared prominently in the Punisher movie, Max Punisher, the Warzone movies. Really can't tell you anything more than that about it. I didn't see it. Not sure how popular it ever really was, but it is another Tops movie knife. But that really, though, is irrelevant to the knife. Don't let that color your thinking on this. This is a full-fledged military survival knife. This is a serious knife. Comes with the great Tops sheath, and just to go over that real briefly here, you can see it does have two Velcro straps that hold the knife at the handle point, a wide one and then a narrow one, both there. It does come with a pocket on the front, which has a clasp release, and then the pocket does also have a piece of elastic here over it to keep the mouth of it closed. The knife does come with let me get the knife out so I can work with this. It does come with a survival whistle, if I can get that out. There it is. It's the Tops survival whistle that comes in the pouch. All right, and that pocket is adjustable with a Velcro adjustment there. It is a MOLLE compatible, so this unsnaps here at this end, and that will feeds through the loops there, and it can be attached with tech locks or on a MOLLE lock, or in this threaded through MOLLE gear. Very portable, very attachable that way. It does come with a length of 550 paracord. It's made of ballistic nylon. It does have the regular belt loop for wearing that way, and it does have a plastic insert to keep it rigid. It's a rough, good, hard use sheath. Very nice. The knife now has an unusual look to it, and let's go over some of these. It's really a multi-function knife. We'll go over some of these. Do the specs first. That's an 8.5-inch blade, and the steel is 1095 high carbon steel. It is 1/4 of an inch thick, full tang construction, and it's 1/4 of an inch thick stock. It's overall 13.5 inches long, and the handle scales are micarta. Now, this was a knife designed by Daniel Certo, and it was designed for Tops, and it was used in this movie, like I said. But it's got a lot of great actual survival features to it. It is in use in the military. There are Rangers that use these knives, different branches of different military services that do use these knives, and Tops is very popular in the military to begin with. So this is a real hard use knife. As you can see, it's kind of a combination of a saw, machete, knife. Pry bar is really kind of what it is. Let's see if we can get a close up here and go over some of these features. Starting with just the blade, that's a long, sharp edge there. Okay, so that's going to be good for for hacking, for chopping like that. Along that edge, it's going to be good as a draw knife. It can be held like this and used as a draw knife for making tinder for a fire. It would be good for slicing as a camp knife. All right, in food preparation. The rounded part here and the tip, you've got there's some very interesting blade geometry here that I'd like to show you if I can. See if I can zoom in on that. But this blade is not the same from one side to the next. Now you can see here, if I can show that to you, you can see how it's oblong there. All right, you see how the grind comes all the way to the end on this side, but on this side it doesn't. On this side it falls short. You see that? Right there, the grind, the bevel falls short there, but on this side it comes all the way to the end. And the result of that is, if you can see, it makes a shallower bevel on this side than it does on this side. And the reason for that then is so that as a pry knife, this part with the gradual bevel on it, you can use that to get under things on that side better. As for leverage, you can pry and dig underneath and get under with that side easier. On this side, it's more of a shaver, more of a scraper. You see that? Someone was really thinking when they made that tip there, and that could come in very useful in certain situations. The top of it, of course, it could be a glass breaker. Here, this here, that could just break glass. Right up here, we have a good spot for batoning, for using that to hit that for batoning. That's perfect right there. On this part of the blade, you'll notice there's a standout right there, and that's a hammer. That's a hammer piece. So if you're hammering a peg or a nail or something, that can be used right there. That additional, just a little bit of additional surface area, and that can make a hammer in a pinch. Also good for batoning there too. Now, of course, you see the teeth that are along up there on the top, and that's good for notching logs when you're making a shelter. You can see the whole blade is coated with the protective epoxy, and that's because it's 1095 steel, which will rust when exposed to the elements. So this will protect it. Moving on to the handle, we've got some choil here with a nice spot to rest your thumb. And your thumb just naturally goes right there, and it's a good feel right there. And there's a good finger guard here. There's also a secondary finger groove here, and then the rest of your fingers just wrap right around there at the waist of the knife, like that. It's a very natural hold, and it gives a lot of control. At the base of the knife, we've got another hammer piece, a breaker, impact weapon, that kind of thing. We've got two holes in there of different sizes. One could be a lanyard hole. This one is large enough that rope, a small diameter rope actually could fit through there. They could be used as pry jigs for metal or wire that could go through there and then bend it to use it as a bending jig. It could be used as a sizing hole for making consistent bundles of something of exactly that size for small amounts of surface area. There's a lot of uses for this knife, and it's an all around it's an all around hard use knife. Absolutely. Like I say, machete, knife, saw, hatchet, hammer, breacher, pry bar, and it's sharp. Oh yeah. It's got a very good edge on it. And it does have a flat spot there in the center. If you're using a clamp system, you can use that to resharpen. That's the Tops Punisher. Alright. And that comes with the whistle. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you again.